Welcome back to another one. Today I'm going to bring you along to a nice and easy, not really, leg day. Yes, the one that everyone seems to shy and should we say run from. So I get why some people most people wouldn't like, or wouldn't, so let's just say it again. I get why everyone basically doesn't like legs, because if you do them properly it hurts. If you do it properly, it's not fun. But for me, these days, I always go head first towards the stuff that's not comfortable, the stuff that's not easy. Because for me to get to this point where I am now, after losing more than 26 stone, getting on for 8 years into my whole journey, which I've only recently worked it out is literally 8 years, give or take, from when I was like starting to just like pull my shit together and just stick with it. Be consistent for a change. Remember, consistency is the that is the je ne sais, that is what you need, right? That is the main ingredient. Like, consistency is your plate, right? You need to have your plate before you can put your food on it. So you need to make sure you've got that consistency plate, because if you ain't got that consistency, all the other stuff is just going to fall on the floor. Fuck, that is a wow. That is great. I've just thought of that one just now, and that is, you heard it here first. So yeah, at the gym already, if you could tell. Yep, I'm at the gym. So yeah, legs, currently, I'll prop you up here for a sec. Currently legs is 1 a week for me, because obviously over the years of doing this, shall break it down quickly. 8 years is the whole journey. Like 3-ish years was 2 to 3 years of obviously training. 2 to 3 years of diet mostly, just to get into it, right? You know, the first one year was like, well, a monumental thing. You know, even though the first year I've lost, I don't know the exact number. It's a good 10-12 stone probably, because that's where you get your most, like your bloat and all the extra stuff. Not everyone's got to lose this much weight, but you know, that's where you first lose your big lump of fat and everything else. So yeah, so after like 2 to 3 years, started to get into like well, just wanting to understand this isn't going to go forever. I ain't going to constantly lose weight forever, and I'm going to want to maintain at some point and just get used to like not losing weight, and then not just stopping it, and then not learning anything along the way, and it all goes wrong and you start gaining it all back, which unfortunately happens to a lot of people. It just, you know, you need a lot of these fad diets, which I can get into a topic of one day, because they all basically give you the same result. Yeah, they put you in a calorie deficit. That's what they do, right? They put you in some form of calorie deficit, and then you then like think, all right, great, it's working, or it has worked, and then you stop it, and then what happens? You suddenly don't go in a calorie deficit, you suddenly eat everything. You need to learn the lessons along the way. So, you know, and also the injection side of stuff, where you can, you know, take all these different, so many different injections these days to help weight loss. And again, all these different things, they do help and they're tools, but you need to learn lessons along the way. And a lot of the time, that main ingredient is learning along the way. That's just sort of like deleted. You know, it's like, that bit doesn't exist. It's like that bit is the important bit, the bit that feels hard at the time, because it's like, it takes so long, day in, day out, it's so boring. But you're learning along the way how it all works, and you know, yes, it becomes the same thing over time, but then the longer you do it, the more you know yourself, how you are with certain foods. If you dropped your calories by a certain amount, or you done this exercise, or you done that exercise, or you tried doing sort of all these different things along the way, which you might be like, oh, that's a waste of time. But no, you're learning everything along the way. You're learning all these new things. So over time, you become a lot more efficient with you know, what you know that works for you, if that makes sense. So, you know, it's never a waste of time, unless you're literally like doing all the wrong things, or, you know, you're going backwards. That's definitely a waste of time. So yeah, enjoy the whole journey of it. And as I was getting to the point of like 2 to 3 years of just basically like diet, was just literally cutting my calories down, making sure I'm eating a deficit, which like I said then, I learnt lessons along the way. So I knew how many calories to drop, Because at the beginning it was literally like, just eat less fucking food. Like, I'm literally eating everything, so I just started to track stuff so I can actually see like, shit, I'm eating too much. And I literally halved everything. I still eat loads of crap, but I was eating less of it, rather than like a whole fucking 2 massive pizzas. I'll have one of them. So, you know, I still eat a lot of shit, but I was being more mindful of what I'm doing and, you know, cutting back. And then as I was going, I was learning, maybe I shouldn't have that, I should swap in that, and then change it for that, and then try that. So, and then as time went along again, I'm like, well, learning, okay, maybe I should learn more than just calories. I start looking at protein and looking at other stuff which is like more important. And then as time went along, maybe I should get into like fitness, as in like walking, because I was barely walking or moving about. So, you know, as time goes on, and I'll do another video into all these other things, but if you look back on my other videos, there is like more of a, you know, few videos about me talking about the steps I take and or took to get into it all. And so yeah, over the time, it's just, for me, it was just getting into, you know, just being active, walking, and just being more mindful of, like, you know, it's not just about everything you eat, it's about the movement and everything, all the other little bits that come with it that over the long run will keep the weight off, because you'll know more what foods are best to eat. Maybe I should keep, you know, active, do some walking, or do some, all these little things that add up to make your lifestyle at the other end, when you've sort of finished, or you've got to a point pretty much where you'd like to be, make it a lot more easier. And like, rather than be like, oh my god, I'll stop it all, it's like, you don't stop it, you just ease back. So when the diet's done, you just sort of know to just, I'll increase my calories up to sort of a maintenance level, and then I'll make sure I'll do this much, and I know I'll track my calories. You know, you don't got to do it all the time, but what I'm saying is, you know, you're eating in the right sort of amount, and you're doing the things that you know are going to keep you on that right level. And then if it starts to go a bit wrong, then you just pull it back a bit. You know, you can always, you're never going to be the same weight forever. You're always going to do that. Well, hopefully it's more like that rather than like that. So it's, you know, you want to make sure you're doing the right things, and along the way you're learning all the lessons, as I've said. So yeah, a few years in, this is a very long drawn out story, but if you're watching me now, I'm sure you get what I'm like, right? I like to babble on a bit, and I try like to keep it a bit brief, but sometimes it don't happen like that. So tough, you're here now. So yeah, a few years in, getting into walking, getting into the 4th year now, getting into like wanting to lose weight, wanting to get fitter rather than just like walking, because I was walking a bit, then I got a Fitbit, and then I wanted to just track steps and just be like, yeah. Next step was to look at going to the gym. Started the gym about 4 years in, give or take. Around that time after that, it was then COVID times, which was annoying, because as soon as COVID hit, it was like, oh shit. So we're like, what? I've just started the gym, and I'm like, oh, how long is it going to be shut for? We don't know, which now we know was like a long time. Then it started again, as in like we was allowed to be free, and then it was not, and then, so yeah, it was a bit of a shit time, as we all know. But I could have gone one way or the other. I could have like left this to be like, yeah, it's going to be great, and I'm gonna like, you know, use this opportunity, as in like gym shut, to like, oh, leave it. I'll do it again when it's all open. Or I've done the other ways. I've done my own thing at home, got myself some dumbbells, which were like gold dust back then, if you remember. So yeah, I then sort of done home workout stuff, because I was at the gym by that time I was probably, I don't know, maybe a week or so into the gym, so it wasn't much at all, but it gave me a nice little taste of that. I'm like, you know what, I like this. I want to push my energy into this. So then home workouts felt like forever, because I can't make much progress at home. It's just dumbbells and like basic stuff. I ain't got, you know, barely, I only had a bench, and that was it. But made it work for, felt like 10 years, but it's probably, I don't know, a good 6 months or so, maybe longer, because the gym's open, then they shut, then they open, then they shut. But then I knew over that time I was able to make progress, in which I did. So yeah, fast forward a bit more time, getting back into the gym, started out slowly, like 2 or 3 times a week, bit more over a few months. So now we're getting on to like 5 years. I'm doing like four times a week-ish, just a lot of full body stuff. Then I sort of done more of upper lower stuff, so like upper lower. It was usually for like 4 days. Then I wanted to divide it up a bit more. Like I said, over time I've learned these different sort of techniques and ways of doing things, and I'm like, what works for me? And then I wanted to try different things, and like I said, it takes time to learn all these things. There's no one route and it works. It's like, it's all many different, you know. So fast forward again, it's just finding out what works for me. And then I was like, right, great, this works, that works, so stick with it. And then over the past few years, I've just been tweaking it a little bit, but then just gradually like working harder, and now I'm going gym like 5 to 6 days a week. At the minute it's more like 5 because I'm cutting, and you know, I'm on less calories, and my recovery is important. Again, another lesson you learn along the way. So it's like, you need to take all these lessons, and this long story is basically saying you need to enjoy the whole process of it. And yeah, don't get all like, oh, it's not working today, or it's not working tomorrow. It's like, come on now, if it's only been a little bit of time, like literally time, like when I say a little bit of time, I don't mean like a day or two, I mean like if it's only been a few weeks, shut up, seriously, just put your dummy back down, right, and just fucking get on with it, right? Because this, for me, I'm 8 years in, right, if I've not said already. So yeah, come on, don't be a baby about it all, because this is hard, right? And then once you've done it, it's not done. Remember that. Yeah, don't do it for a small period of time and then go, right, that's done, I'll put that back in its little box and I'll diet another day. Some people can do that, but that's not a nice way to live, because it's like, oh god, I'm gonna go diet again, which, you know, for certain lifestyles just needed, and it makes it, but like I said, you learn lessons along the way, it makes it easier, as I've said many times. I'm sure you get that by now, right? So been babbling on a lot, well, quite a while. So I've got to get my pre-workout in, because the gym is waiting for me. So if you know me by now, I have my caffeine in tablet form because it's cheaper, and a lot of these pre-workouts ain't good. And yes, it is 400 milligrams caffeine, 200 a tablet. So yeah, shots. And I've got my own pre-workout I make, as in like, I buy it in bag form, not just an actual bag of pre-workout. Like, you got like 20 scoops for like £1,000. I buy like the bags of like citrulline, beta-alanine. That's the main two really. It's more like blood tingling slash sort of, yeah, all the doodahs. And yeah, so if you're into it like I am, then again, lesson along the way. I know that for me, pre-workouts were a bit of a waste of money and time, and I'm like double scooping all the time. It cost me like, you know, I have to take a mortgage out just to buy some pre-workout because I use too much of it. So let's get this down me. Oh, that is the citrulline. So on the menu today, obviously legs, some form of pressing, probably be leg press. I hope it's not too busy. So leg press, leg extensions, excuse me. Usually around 8 to 10 sets total, not including working up sets. Hamstring will be probably a couple of sets of RDLs, seated hamstring curls, laying hamstring curls, and then calves will be like sprinkled in with either the leg press, or I'll do seated leg press after, because I like to do my calf raises standing. I just feel I get better, because if I do a seated one, where you know that one where you sit down and you like lift your, you get what I'm saying, your knees are bent, so there's your upper, do you get what I'm saying? So you lift it like that. I find that one's not that effective for me. Like, it is, it hurts, but it's not where I want to feel it, if that makes sense. I just get it in like, yeah. But I like to switch it up sometimes, but yeah, 6 to 8 sets of that. Because I was so big in my last life. In my previous life, as in years ago, I was a bombastic and fantastic. I've got nice calves and strong legs, so I don't need to overly train them hard. I just need to like make sure they don't get smaller. So when I'm smaller, in a fat sense, I'm like, damn, you've got some good calves. I look like a horse. I'm like, I know. I was going to do a horse impression, but I ain't got time for that. Let's go. Come on. Repeat till you can't walk. Well, leg day done, and I am done. Like, getting here to the end, I can always tell. Like I said earlier, you get to know how your body feels, and if you're getting to that point where it's like, I'm tired, nice, classic Mustang. We're in the UK. You don't really see many 1960s Mustangs. So yeah. I'm tired. I pushed maybe possibly a little bit too much because I've recently not been as well as I could be, but it's leg day, it's once a week. You've got to really dig into it. The ones that are like the hardest and you're sort of like, oh yeah, I should take it a bit easy, or I could do this, basically being soft on yourself. Yeah, you could do, but don't moan at yourself down the line when you could have got more results. Same as should I have eaten that? I could have had that. I could have that treat. I'll have them few treats. But if you didn't have them few treats, them few times, you could have lost more weight. You could have been further forward in your sort of progress than you would have been if you just, do you know what I'm saying? So sometimes making that extra sacrifice, push that a bit harder, have that little bit less food, you know, don't have them treats now, they add up to, you know, getting to where you want to be quicker. And also it sort of builds sort of that self, I'm not sure the word because my brain's a bit like post-leg stuff, but that sort of belief and that strength system that you build over time to basically sort of tell yourself and show yourself that you can do things that you thought that you can't do. So yeah, I've done a lot today. I'm knackered, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed the leg day today. I always write down when it's like a workout related thing, like when I do take you along with me to be a leg day, whatever day, I write down in the description what I done. So like sets, reps, XYZ, just in case you wanted to do it with me, or if you're interested, because you only put up like one set. I can't just film the whole thing because it's a bit, well, it just takes time to film stuff, and then, you know. So yeah, hope you enjoyed it. I'm glad it's done. We're done for a week, but over time it's never going to always be just once a week. Over time I'm going to want to step it up, maybe go twice a week, depending on which muscle group. And like I said, you need to know when your body's recovered and XYZ. So as always, I've got my meal. You're gonna know me as the pasta and mince boy. Yeah, so yeah, I'm done. Hope you've enjoyed this. Again, let me know if there's anything you want to know. Comment below, please. If you want to know something, ask something, anything really. Suggestions on what you'd like to see, yeah, you get it. Please do subscribe. I appreciate every single subscription, every single sort of person that sort of subscribes. I really do appreciate it, because like I said, the main aim for this is to sort of document what I'm doing, as I've done sort of over the years, but more so a longer format on YouTube, to like really show people that, you know, anything is possible, even if you think it's not possible. And like, oh, it's too late. It's never too late. If you're still alive and kicking, it's never too late. It's only too late when it's truly too late. So hope you have a lovely day. The sun is ice. I've come here and then I've left. I come here, the sun wasn't out. I've left and the sun's now blazing. So beautiful. So have a lovely day. Enjoy whatever you're doing. Like I say, don't be too easy on yourself. Just push harder. And yeah, I'll catch you in the next one. Also, give me a thumbs up. Like, subscribe, thumbs up. Get used to this stuff. Come on, give me a break. Take care, people.